Look, let's start off with the Yuri Tielemans stuff, because a lot of people have been asking me about Yuri Tielemans over the last while, and my answer has always kind of been the same. He's a good player, there's no doubt about that, but I'm always dubious when we're linked with players from other Premier League clubs, particularly clubs like Leicester who are looking to challenge for European places. Now, this latest link stems from Barca Universal, and this is basically where it comes from. So it said, not only could Liverpool take what a long time looked like Leicester City's Champions League place, they could also take Yuri Tielemans, according to reports. The Belgian netted a spectacular long-range strike against Chelsea on Saturday to ensure that the Foxes lift the trophy for the first time in the 137-year history. Barca Universal also now cites Calcio Mercato as claiming that Liverpool are set to be locked in a transfer battle this summer to land the 24-year-old midfielder. The Reds could be in the market for a replacement for Gini Wijnaldum, who's out of contract at Anfield, and Tielemans looked like a class act who was already experienced in the Premier League. Now, a couple of things on this one. One, I've got no idea if this is true or it's just made up for clicks by the site in question. Yuri Tielemans is certainly a very tidy footballer. I think we'll all agree on that one. Now, honestly, I think there's probably better value to be had elsewhere than going to a Premier League rival, and particularly a club like Leicester City, who aren't pushed around in the transfer market. We know how good their owners are, and we know what way they want to push forward. And seeing Barcelona linked with them really did make me think, because one, we know Barcelona are up shit creek at the minute, as are Real Madrid financially. There's been talk that Real Madrid might have to offload as many as 7 players to even contemplate putting in a bid for Kylian Mbappe, who we'll get on to in a few minutes. So Yuri Tielemans, look, I don't think Liverpool will go in and pay what I would imagine would be 60 million plus for Tielemans. And when you're dealing with another Premier League rival, you're going to pay an additional premium, and you're going to have to pay an astronomical amount of money. So I genuinely don't think that there's much truth to the Tielemans stuff. Now, if there is truth to it, I can understand it. He's a tidy footballer. As the article mentions, he is a class act and 24 years of age. He's in the right age bracket. And I don't know what his thought process is about Leicester City, and I don't know if they miss out on Champions League, will he look to move on? Only himself as representative in Leicester City would know that. I don't see it. I just don't see it personally. When you look at it, there's better options there. Basuma, as an example. We've also been linked with Rodrigo de Paul, and I told you guys about AC Milan's interest in that. That seems to be flip-flopping a little bit. One minute they're not interested in him, and then today I read that AC Milan are looking to potentially offer a young player in part exchange for Rodrigo de Paul with Udinese. So we'll keep an eye on that situation as well. The Basuma thing, I think a few Premier League clubs have been linked with Yves Bissouma, and I'm sure clubs around Europe will also be interested in him because, again, he's quite a tidy footballer. Craig, would you swap Keita and Cash for Yuri? Now, you see, that's a very good point, mate, because we have also seen a link to Naby Keita with Crystal Palace, Leicester City and a couple of other clubs. And again, I'm not going to try and second guess what Jurgen Klopp wants to do with Naby Keita, but if there is truth, and it's a big if there is truth in both of those, so if there is truth that Liverpool would like Tielemans and that Leicester would like Keita, there would certainly be a conversation that I wouldn't mind the club having. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but, you know, this transfer window may see clubs try to be a bit more creative in the way they go about signings, because money will be at a premium, of course, with clubs still recovering from the global pandemic and the impact that has had on clubs' finances. So keep an eye on it, is all I'm going to say. I mean, if it was a straight cash deal for Yuri Tielemans, I can't see us paying what it would take. You know, you're losing Gini, you're not going to get a penny for him. Yes, you will free up his wages, but you're still going to have to put out an extremely high amount of money. So let's just play devil's advocate here and say Yuri Tielemans costs between 50 and 60 million. Then you've got Canade coming in, that's another 40 odd. So you're committing 100 million quid there in 2 players. And it doesn't seem like the way we go about our business, really, does it? You know, if you're bringing in a Van Dijk or an Alisson, a glaring hole in your squad that's cost you previous years, then, you know, you understood why we paid so much for Alisson, why we paid so much for Van Dijk. And of course, we had that Felipe Coutinho money as well. Terry said Ward-Prowse. Again, I spoke to you guys the other day, and I think it was Garth Crooks, formerly of the BBC, or maybe still is at the BBC, I'm not sure, who spoke that, like, he seems like a Liverpool player, James Ward-Prowse, and I would agree. I think James Ward-Prowse would be an excellent addition. Very technically good, great from a set piece. Always got that determination to improve. You've seen since Ralph Hasenhüttl came into Southampton how he has upped his game and upped his, I won't say his commitment because that would be unfair on the lad, but he's certainly come on leaps and bounds. So yeah, Ward-Prowse for me, I have no issues with James Ward-Prowse. I still haven't sold on Yuri Tielemans. I don't know if it's just me and if I'm being a bit pig-headed on this, but I watch him fair bit, and sometimes I watch him and I go, yeah, I see it. I see absolutely what everybody sees in him. And then other times I watch him and I think, I don't know, do you know, is he a bit soft in the middle? Yeah, soft. It's tough to pick. Not pick, like I say pick like I've got some chance to sort this out. If Liverpool got Tielemans, where would you put him in the team? Right in where Gidi plays now, in that midfield trio. So you'd have options there with Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson, Tielemans. If you wanted somebody on the front foot more, you'd have Tielemans there. You'd have maybe Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain there. It would give us options, definitely. And look, if we're going to be in the Champions League next season and want to challenge on all fronts, then you know you need probably two players in every position, and not just two players, two quality players.